Good morning. Today we will be multiplying and dividing integers. When we multiply and divide integers, this is something that's pretty easy. It's a little weird at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's one of the easiest things you will learn all year. So our purpose for this, why are we doing this? Great question. This basic skill will help you to understand the real number system and will help you in future math classes. So our focus is understand the number system. Of course, that will help you in future math classes. So this is more of our process today, not really steps in order. We have two options when we multiply and divide integers. Now you might be thinking, okay, we multiply or we divide. Well, we're very aware of multiplication and division. We know those two things. But we're talking about the signs today. And by signs, we're talking about positive and negative in front of the sign. So if the signs are the same, answer is positive. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Now I'm going to focus here. If the signs are the same, if they're the same signs, our answer is positive. Our answer is going to be positive. What does that look like? We'll see very soon. First, let's get our other option. Okay, well, we could have the same signs. We could also have, if signs are different, like we have one positive and one negative, or we have a negative and a positive. If those are different signs, our answer is negative. Okay, same signs, positive. Whoa, I changed the color of the text. All right, we'll keep it. Signs are different. The answer is going to be a negative. Other than that, we multiply and we divide as usual. So if we look at our first one here, number 1, we have 9 times 8. That is a math fact. That is one we should know. But if we look at 9 times 8, are those the same signs or different signs? Well, we have a negative and a negative. They're both negative. That's the same. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. So we have a positive. And 9 times 8, 72. Now, do you have to write this plus sign out front? No. That's still a positive 72. Good to go. All right, our next one here. We can look at a negative 12 and a negative 10. And do you see that parenthesis between them? That shows multiplication. We're still going to multiply those numbers. So those are the same signs. Same signs, positive. So we're going to make it a positive number. Positive, and then we have 12 times 10. Now, this should be mental math. So we're going to do this 12 times 10 over here to the side, and we're going to set it up like we would with multiplication. And we're going to review a little double-digit multiplication. So we start with this 0 here, and we're going to multiply it by both of our top digits. So 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 1, 0. Now at this point, when we move over to this one digit, we need a placeholder. So we put a 0. Some students put an X. Some students leave a space. I like to do a 0. So that's our placeholder. That way, when we do 1 times 2, it's lined up with that one digit. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. All right, we've multiplied all the options together, so we're going to combine them. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus nothing is 1. Notice 12 times 10, and you just kind of take the 12 and put the 0 with it. Look, you just take the 12 and put the 0 with it. It's like 12 times the 1 is 12, and then the 0 tags along. Okay, so it should have been mental math, but if not, can we still do this? Yes, we can. All right, so we have positive 120. Why was it positive? Well, they had the same signs. They were both negative. Now, number 3 is different. Number 3 is different. They have different signs. 25 is positive, 3 is negative. So if the signs are different, the answer is negative. So we know right away that our answer not going to be equal, is going to be negative. We know right now our number is going to be negative. Now, what is our number going to be? All right, I'll show you the mental math first before we write it out this time. Don't get scared of the 25. It's like quarters. We deal with money, right? So we can think to ourselves, how much money would 3 quarters be? So 3 25-cent coins, which I hope you are thinking of what that would be right now. If that doesn't work, okay, let's go with 25 times 3, and we set it up vertically, and we multiply. The 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Oh, look, 75. And 3 quarters is 75 cents. You could have done that mental math. Wonderful. And it was negative because our signs were different. Different signs, negative answer. Our next one also has different signs, negative 30 and a positive 8. So we have a negative times a positive is going to be a negative. Those are different signs, so our answer is going to be negative. Now, remember that trick from last time? This 120 over here, we could have just taken that first 12 times 1 and then tagged along the 0. Same thing here. We can do 3 times 8 is 24 and tag along that 0. 30 times 8 is negative 240. Sorry, negative 30 times positive 8, negative 240. All right, here we go. Next one. Even if it's division, our rules are still the same. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, the answer is negative. So these have the same signs, so our answer will be positive. Do we have to put the plus sign? No, you don't have to. You can. You don't have to. You can. Up to you. 20 divided by 5. So we can kind of think to ourselves, how many times does 5 fit into 20? Well, 5, 10, 15, 20. Woo, 4. Positive 4. Do we need the plus sign? No. Next one. This is also division. It looks like a fraction. It's also division. So we have 75 divided by 25. And those signs are the same. If we have the same signs, our answer is positive. Same sign, positive. Different signs, negative. 75 divided by 25. Those sound familiar, don't they? Like if we have 75 cents and we divide it up into quarters, how many quarters do we have? 3. Remember this problem over here. We've already done the work. 75 divided by 25 gives us 3 as an answer. Look at us go. Look at us go. The next one, we have negative 84 divided by 12. Are those the same signs or different signs? They're different. Different signs, our answer is going to be negative. We have a negative. Our 12s are a little tough. Our 12s are tough to remember. How many 12s fit into 84? So you could do a little guess to the side and be like, okay, I'm thinking, how many 12s fit into 84? I'm going to think 8. Let's try 8. 12 times 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 96. That's too big. Okay, well, let's try 12 times something a little smaller than 8. Let's try 7. What is 12 times 7? Well, 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. Oh, look at that. We found it. We get a negative 7. Hopefully you know your 12 math facts, because then you would have known that like that. Moved on. All right, here we go. Are those the same signs or different signs? Well, our 140 is negative. Our 70 is positive. Those are different signs. Same signs, positive. Different signs, negative. Now, remember with the zeros, we can do the same thing with division. If we have a 0 at the end, we can just kind of ignore those. Because it's like we just simplified our fraction by 10. We divided our 140 by 10, 70 by 10. We just simplified. It's much easier to see how many times does 7 go into 14. 7 goes into 14. You got this. 2. That's how easy this is. So you might want to pause the video, try these 4 on your own, and then check back to see how you did on them. All right, now that you've paused the video and you have some answers on there, let's see how you did. All right, those are different signs, so our answer is negative. 5 times 4 is 20, and we can tag along the 0, so we should have a negative 200 for number 1. Next one, we have the same signs, which is positive. 2 times 3 is 6, and we can tag along that 0. Number 3, 50 divided by 2, and that is a negative 2, so the signs are different, so we have a negative 25. And the final answer was given to you. You're welcome. Negative 9. Typo. It's fine. All right, here we go. We're going to organize the rule for multiplying and dividing integers. So these are like Punnett squares. So we kind of look at the 2 on the top and the bottom and bring them together to see what they would be. And then we fill in what our answer would be. So if we have a positive times a positive, those are the same signs. Positive. Positive times a negative would be different signs. So that would be a negative because they're different. All right, a positive times a negative. Oh, those are different, so that would be negative. And then we have a negative times a negative. Negative times a negative. That's a positive because they're the same signs, positive. That is key. Even when we divide, if they have the same signs, like a positive times a positive divided by a positive, just like we've been doing all through elementary school, we still get a positive answer. Positive times I'm on the wrong operation. Dividing. If we divide a positive and a negative, a positive divided by a negative, those are different signs, so our answer will be negative. Then if we have a positive and a negative, I think I said that backwards, a negative and a positive, those are different signs. When we divide different signs, we get a negative. And then a negative divided by a negative, those are the same signs. Negative divided by a negative makes a positive. Pretty much the main idea. So our main takeaway is our same, let me get the right color here. Our same signs are positive. Then if we have different signs, the answer is going to be negative whenever we multiply or divide.